Fremont was an explorer, had both private sponsorship and government sponsorship at times, and they were looking to find passageways through these mountains. And one thing I should tell you, considering the human history here, is humans basically came into this area last. This was hard, rugged territory. When they were first investigating and exploring, all they really wanted to do was to get to the West Coast. They were trying to blaze trails for roads and trains across the country, and when they got to these mountains, they just said, we're not going there with this project. To give an example, the California gold rush was in the 1849s, 1850s. This area was not really settled by Europeans and whites until about a quarter of a century after that. This was one of the last places in the continental United States to be actually settled. And it was, in fact, gold that brought them in here. The major gold finds were up west of Denver, the Aspen, Leadville, and all that. They worked those until they were petering out, and they started expanding, and then they started running out of gold in that area, except when they moved southwest. Turned out that the gold vein ran from up there in a southwestern direction. The smart miners did a trip to Denver, went down to Santa Fe, up through Chama, and entered this area from the south, much easier than coming across the mountains from this direction. And they moved into these mountains finally and began mining for gold and silver. So Fremont was exploring. He had on his team, I think 30 or 40 explorers with him, people that went along on his expedition. He had guides. Big Bill Williams was one of them, a very well-known guide for the mountains at that time. They came up from way over. You can see the mountains over there, the far distant, very white mountains. One of the valleys in those mountains that you're seeing there is called Mosca Pass. They came over that, down into the San Luis Valley, came up into the area just over in this area in a blizzard. Big Bill Williams told him, don't go there for one reason or another, and I'm not discrediting John Fremont at all, but for some reason he made the wrong decision and headed up into these mountains in a blizzard. And they evidently got about 5 feet of snow. According to the different histories and rumors about it, they ate their mules, they ate their saddles, and maybe each other. So a bit of history from the Fremont expedition. He didn't make it across these mountains in the winter. Lost some life, and it was really a sad part of his otherwise fairly successful career.